Hello, everybody. Uh, Welcome back. I'm making a video, which I do not make very many of these anymore, cause stream apocalypse. That's why I went on strike for making videos. But we're back. We're back in the game. So let's just head straight in. We're gonna be playing a game called The Beginner's Guide, which came out a while ago. If we're gonna be honest. Um, but yeah, let's just play and see what this game has in store.
Hi there. Thank
Hello.
you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way.
Oh, nice
And
cozy
mostly
CS:GO
it's
map.
just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Oh, door. Wait, room. Oh,
Warning. Whisper machine active. Shift destruction imminent.
warning. Whisper machine act.
This game is called Escape from Whisper,
Evacuate
and it's
immediately.
one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
This way accessible. Move. Alright, that doesn't work. Feels like Halo. Like really low poly version of Halo. I mean, this is his like first like actual game creation. This is fairly nice.
Security call breached.
Better than I could
Hostile
do.
alien life forms inbound.
Door.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
That is one beautiful bottom of the universe. That is beautiful. A little face. Okay, oh, that's not even right. It's just, oh, that was just another closed door. Gee. Right.
Apparently, the space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past.
Yep, I'm lost.
Okay,
No,
this
I
is the
wanted to
part
go
that's
see if I could
interesting.
go solve it.
The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Oh, an engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could
Yes,
save
lady.
us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam.
You want me to walk
It's
into
so
the
much
beam?
to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it?
Okay.
Could you give yourself?
The question is, there's an obviously why would I do it, but like, should I do it? I don't want to. See if anything happens. Just look around and watch its beauty.
This is not a branching point, unfortunately. The only option is to step into the beam.
Dang it, Mr. Reed.
Let me pause here for a second.
I'm dead.
What you just experienced, stepping
What
into
is
the
that?
beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh, I have to go step in the beam. Whoa. Oh, this is nice. So quiet and
The beam
peaceful.
causes you to start floating. And
I
this is
can
an
see
important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic
This was
system.
a very...
Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful
This must have
place,
been an
juxtaposed
accident if this
against
was
all
a
of the
mistake.
hysteria that you've just had to traverse.
Or a glitch.
I don't even know.
But man,
I have no idea what he
this
was
is
thinking.
a
But
nice glitch.
what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
November 2008. Oh,
Yep, in this game you can
The S
only
key.
walk backwards.
that seems nice. Wonder how this would be like if like a real game was like this. Maybe I don't know about a horror game, but like just like a walking sim like this game. All right, the past was behind her. Ready?
So it's
But
a
the future
short
can only
and
see.
relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more
Wait
complete.
till he's done talking.
Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
I'm pretty sure he's done. Why does the future keep changing? I'm not supposed to go this way. I'm supposed to go back. Okay. When she stops and looks, it becomes clear. soundtrack for this game too. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought. It says what it wants to say, and
Dude,
then
that
it
was a
ends.
deep story
Didn't
for
need
like
anything more than that. Which to me is
30
why it works,
to like
because it gets
30
out
seconds,
quick.
like 1 minute.
Okay, next one.
If you're fast enough, if you're like me, it's gonna take like over that because you're a bit slow. Kind of like me. You are now entering Slenderman vibes. Jeez. Let's see, what am I entering?
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be
Pretty good
patient
game.
with me for a few more
Why?
games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
So far, these games are kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Nonsense in nearly every
Oftentimes, Coda would
direction.
put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Okay.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
I'm getting slower.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all?
Oh, okay, jumping.
Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
What button did he say? Oh, okay, it was E. Oh. A room. I don't trust that room. Is that... I wonder what's in these buildings. There's a room in that one. Can I jump off? No. Well, I'm a bit happy that they implemented the barrier up here so I don't jump off the stairs like an idiot. Alright, let's get into the room. Oh. You are a gate. Series of lavish manuals come with the game, giving you incorrect instruction on how to play. You are the queen, dusting your jewelry while your kingdom is destroyed.
And nice
As a camera
little
filming an
ideas for
advertisement,
games.
walk around on set filming whatever you like. Press U to surrender. Press a button you press to stop the chaos that doesn't
Coda
work.
would often tell me that he didn't mind if people
Reading
thought of
enemies'
him as
emails to
cold
learn how
or
to peek.
distant. He said that he knew that he was
Game
actually
filled
a
with
vibrant
chairs
and
except one
compassionate
chair is
person,
floating. Live on a
but
boat
that it
taking orders
takes
from
time to really
captains.
see that.
That's wrong.
It can be a very slow climb to get there.
A normal game where you have to scream into your mic every 15 seconds to play. That just seems like a regular game. Ready, set, fish. Okay. Well, I mean, maybe like dark, not dark, but there may be hallways, but like, oh, that sounds like fish. Right? The last room was nice though. Warm room. And
Well, this is new for
the
Coda.
middle of like
It's an
summer,
actual puzzle.
winter.
Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Darkness. Can I just break the button? Let's see. How slow is this thing? I'm not even joking right now. I'm just really bad at...
Don't forget that solution, because we're
Oh,
going to
this is
see
fairly
this puzzle
simple.
again soon. We're gonna see it a
Dots.
lot.
I swear I saw 3 dots in the last game. Alright. just gonna start
So
walking.
that seems to be
Yeah.
it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright,
These
now I'm
lights.
going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Okay. What you do, Mr. Bean? Oh, that's a lot of other places. This is
How about
this
that?
is insane.
There was more to it than we had any way of knowing.
And there's a music change.
I actually find it funny
Really.
that this game comes after the stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything.
There's like 4 or
That's
5
not
different
your
rooms
role as a
here that we
player.
didn't get to explore.
So if your role here is
Those
not
seem-
to understand,
Ooh,
Then what is
I wish we could explore them. But I know we probably can. Slenderman? Slenderman? You are now exiting? Were those games? You're now exiting.
aha. So this, combined with the entering game
This
from
makes
earlier,
so much more sense.
tells
I'm
us
not
that
gonna
Coda
lie.
believes
That
his
little
games
sign
are
there.
connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Oh. Or it's really small.
Let's talk about video game development for
Still
a second.
pretty big, but it's smaller than I
Every
thought.
video game runs on what's called an engine, which
We're gonna go
determines
there
what the
first.
game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools
Open.
for game development.
Okay, it doesn't work.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine
The
called Source.
Streetwise.
Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly.
Probably
One
a
of the
restaurant.
things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so
Bathroom.
many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Oh, I didn't think I could stick on to this.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end
With
up
the kitchen.
making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in
I didn't
Coda's
know that the
games
kitchen
to
led to the
notice how
underworld.
they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing
Still, this
linear
looks
boxy
really
corridors.
fun. Like so far, these games have been fairly good. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. All right. And asked to be born cool. I just do it on accident. Okay. Yep. All right. It's like an evil. What do you call it? Yeah, James Bond. It's like one of those like evil villain layers. They drop him into the sharks. It's pretty cool. Boom. Whoa. This is a bit creepy. I don't know if it's gonna trap me in here or not. Oh, I'm stuck.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design,
Alright.
the doors stayed shut for
These
a full
prison cells are
hour
a
before
bit
letting
nasty.
you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Hours? Yeah, no, thank you. Mr. Reed, thank you.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a
Where does
game
this
ought to
come from?
actually
Where
be
does it
playable,
go?
whether it means anything if no one
Oh,
can
it
get
just
through it.
disappears.
And I would always defend that, you know, all this work
Yes.
goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere.
I mean, if
There
you think
was.
about it, technically it was all playable. Dude, where? I swear I've seen these dots like every single game. I mean, yeah, every single game that we've played. Besides those little slender ones. What do they mean? Maybe they're just little
It's the
faces.
puzzle
I
again,
don't know.
with the exact same solution as the last time.
Oh.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that
That's
Coda
a
is going to
weird
return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with
Yup.
you my interpretation very shortly.
White space. End of the world. I love how he just doesn't like put blue or like ground down there, like a ground texture. Just leave it all white. Just textureless. Listen. Oh, speak. You there? Did you come from up
Here,
above?
Coda begins using
What
a
was up
kind
there?
of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities.
Yes, the world was
Use the
stamped
1,
with
2, 3
whiteness.
buttons on your keyboard to respond.
That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and a switch and switches? Let's see. Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming in here. Again, perfect. Now please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I did so. Let's do one. I don't remember how I solved it. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. Must think harder, please. Try harder. It's so important that we get out of here. We must escape this prison. Can you think harder? There must be something more. Please tell us how to reach to the other side or the end. I don't know what he said. Fireplace. You can hear it burning. It's beautiful. Question is, where'd all this wood come from? You guys look. Hello, how'd you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? No, I've been here this entire time. I suggest you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the black space in the middle. Why should I sit in the black space? Oh, it's plenty peaceful. It may not seem that way at first, but you'll come to think so in time. Eventually. It's a bit odd.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Final floor. Little hallway. Yeah, so far these games seem very fun. Oh, nice little town or housing area.
It's a lamppost.
Lamppost.
Okay, I
Not
can't tell you
lamppost.
quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been
Very
making
nice
really
light physics.
strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Just the style of style of games that Coda makes, they're just like abstract, and that's what I love in games, just like abstractness. Oh, this game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. I can. All notes you see are left by other players. A room. Actually looks fairly nice in this room. Nice room, not.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're gonna see have been written by Coda.
I refuse to believe that.
This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually.
Davey seems like a very, very nice person. How do you beat this game? I have no clue. No point to this. Just so you know, I'm probably, if there's any notes like that I can get to, I'm gonna read them all soon. Yeah, you can stick along, or you can just skip to parts that have dialogue and just move on from there. Whoa! Holy shit! Good words. Good words. You guys hear me? No, but I can read you. Hello. Hello. Reasonable. Very.
Feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them.
I don't believe.
Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Or maybe.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Yeah, or, like I said, maybe Coda just made this just to make it, maybe? I mean, he's known Coda longer, so maybe this is all just Coda just trying to cope with himself as just scattered voices in a game. Hey! This place makes me sad. This place makes me happy. I'm gonna tell you a secret. Once upon a time, I did. Define fun. I can't define very many things. I'm the king of the world. Nah, I'm the king of the world. Balls. Damn. Let's go read these. Hey, I can type here. I wish I could. The guy over there wrote much wrong. I'd rather be doing literally anything other than playing this. Ow. There are too many messages in this area. Why? Huh. You're running out of space. Soon we will suffocate. Cool cavern, bro. Cool cavern indeed, bro. In a world full of notes, one man will read all of them. This summer, you will believe blue speech bubbles can talk. It's pretty deep. Do you feel like a hero yet? No, not really. This game is nice. This game is no nice. I would like it when I could. What? Do not be afraid to care. I just saw a flying penguin. Let me tell you, it was the most majestic thing I've ever seen. I don't feel like living because nothing will ever be as majestic as that. I'll never see anything if nothing will ever be that beautiful. I'm crying now. I'm planning on ripping out my, okay. It's a bit weird, not gonna lie. How is there wood and grass and concrete here? WTF? I don't know, bro. No. Fell asleep on your keyboard. Okay. What the shit is this cavern? I have no clue, bro. Boring, dickhead. I can assure you, guaranteed, that there's an acorn somewhere here, in this place, and the sailors are looking for it. Seems very specific. Hey guys, just looking for somebody to talk to. Not happening here, man. Not happening here. Type to him, but I don't know about talk. I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe as well. Butt ass, but alright. I need to go to the frickin' bathroom. Go, bro, or you're gonna go in your pants. It's not gonna be cool. Recognize me, please. Alright, 3-dot, man. There's nothing here. Go back. Don't listen to that guy. Will do. A free t-shirt. Alright. Need other side door. Why you so? Get doja people. Makes game. Includes door. Cannot open door. Thanks. Open sesame. Door. How open? Doge, bro. Most of these are just Doge. Someday I will meet the person who made this. Well, think about what Davey said earlier. You are, or you have met the person who made this already, as you would be him. I help people because of the internal good feeling I get. That's nice. You still help people. That's the best part of it. New room! Indeed. Do you hear the chimes? They keep you going, don't they? I would like very much to be desired. That's kind of weird. It's not very crowded in here. Scared of writing something? Don't want to feel judged? A game where you leave notes and suddenly everyone's a poet. Don't bother. Go in here, I think. Welcome, congratulations. I don't really know where to go with this. Neither do I, man. This is where I get off. Good night, friend. I failed to write anything here. Yeah, you didn't. I'm compelled. Stop. Turn back. Proceeding further will only result in misery. Result. I don't know why I said result. Take my hand. Let's jump together. Alright. Let's bury her. You lied to me. Cabbage shapes our nation. Indeed. What is that painting? That one? I'd like to say it's all of you little dots. It does not matter if you ever get over there. That's kind of sad. Hey, don't talk to me. Don't talk about me like that. Very good game. Very good game indeed. I think this is not going anywhere. Dude, I hate when people are like that because then I sound retarded when I read. Next time I'll do better. I need someone to talk to. That's sad. Maybe you have friends you could talk to. Maybe old friends you can catch up with. This is a note. I didn't know that. Don't listen to the other notes. I'll take that into consideration. I'm not safe. Okay. Might wanna call somebody for that. I can't help you. Gosh. We're gonna go this way and we're gonna try circling. Stop faking it. Faking. Okay. Okay, man. Today I learned you cannot fall off. Ethical. I saw a person walking down there. Now I won't come back. I'm not gonna lie, if I saw somebody start walking out because, dude, I think I'd start crying. Devil Tower Star. Okay, you're a bit odd. Well done, all of you. Thank you. Painting. What does it mean? Like I said before, it's all you little dots. Whoever made this has issues. Dang. Art. Art indeed. Hey guys. How's it going? Just hanging. I think it's about how things look messy from up close and perfect from far away. I have a good thought process. From up here, it looks like dots. Hoi. Cabbage shapes our nations. Again. Agreed. We won. Oh. We will all die someday. You're not wrong. I'm wrong. Who are all of you? Who are you, my friend? Stop pretending you are other people. Okay, hear me out for a second. This is, if we, like I said before, if we take this into consideration of what Davey said, if this is all Coda who wrote all this, what if he, in this, like, during this time, was having a crisis with himself, trying to pretend like he was somebody other than himself. But while writing this, he self-inserts himself and tells himself to stop pretending to be other people and to just be himself. That's a thinker right there. That'll make the brain useful. Spoilers, it doesn't mean anything. Oh, thanks, Coda. Devil Tower Star. Again, kind of weird. It's about how this game is pretentious and you all suck. You suck as well. Nerd. Maybe I'll feel real someday. Well, you are real, buddy. Unless you're not real, then you're weird. He was himself. This terrible creature you could imagine. That's... Yikes. Well, I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. You're so rude. There must be a reason for it, though. His terrible secret. He kept it well. Question, what was his secret? How did he keep it well? I beat the game. Maybe. More room? Yes, room.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
So, in that sense of what Davey just said, maybe in this part of his life he was having an identity crisis with himself. Who knows? There's also whispering, and I just noticed that. That's really creepy. God. Scared of writing something? Don't want to feel judged? I read that upstairs. We read that, like, up there. Escape. Escape. Need an escape. Dude, comments just get creepier and creepier. He cut it up and spread it between ropes. Almost there. I have seen everything. I've traveled the world. Never told anyone. That's a bit weird, but okay. Nothing bad about that. I wish there were notes in the real world. Dude, that would be crazy if there were notes. Like, imagine reading one from, like, the 1800s, like a cowboy. Right, Skippy-Ki-Yay. Blasting you, right? Can become one with the spiraling nonsense. No, thank you. Downward, keep digging.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Close your eyes and wish for really bad. Yikes. Almost at the end. Indeed. Is this supposed to have a solution? Probably not. OMG! I've been here for a little hour. W2F do I do? Help. Help. This doesn't make sense. The second door won't open. Shit, how do you solve it? Developer, answers, please.
And because there's this dark
Simply
area
yes.
between the doors, a space
I'm
between
heading back to
spaces,
the start. See you later,
before
guys.
you move
See
on,
ya.
you get to pause.
Guys, it's not so bad in here.
Just for a moment.
No solution.
A few
There's no
seconds to
second
reflect on
switch.
and let go
No
of the
answer, I
events
think?
that led you here. To step back
There's an
and
answer.
connect
It's
the
called
pieces
closing
together.
the door on yourself.
To grasp at that
Nope.
elusive bigger picture.
Let's comment. Oh, that is horrible noise. How do you leave? You're a bag of laughs, friend. Sherlock Holmes. Those typewriters? Dude, that's annoying. Are you there? Please say something. It could be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having such difficulty talking? Speak, 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 speak. It just says speak. Porn stars
Okay,
die
this
too.
one is tough. It's gonna kind of
Seems
just
real.
spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Is that a flag? Is that a part of the map? Looks like a flag. It's a nice little couch. Wrong. Nice couch. I like it. Where do I go from here? Oh, okay. Dang, this is nice music. Oh, can I even go up there? No, I can't. Oh, it just disappears. Oh, it's a well
this
from
is it,
outside.
the whole game. And there's
You guys
nothing
didn't
that's
see there was a well
particularly
outside
interesting
the
about
prison
it. You
bars.
just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison
It's a
that
bit
has all
sad.
of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Okay. Oh. Where'd all the furniture go? Or furniture ought to go in the center of the room. A refrigerator. Okay. What about along the wall of the room? Put a huge picture of a washing machine. I just want a washing machine. Oh. Okay, couches work too. I think we should light this room up a bit. I'm thinking 10 by 2 recessed electric 6 inch soft, whatever that said. And a table. You need a table. Pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference. Oh. Whoa. Whoa.
There's a bit more to this
Why
one,
an
but still,
IKEA?
it's not really communicating anything.
A
It's kinda just
never-ending
weird
IKEA
for
like that
weirdness'
SCP?
sake.
I didn't think I could climb that.
So okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a
Weird.
different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. Alrighty. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. First, click on this table. Look at those eyes. Good, go over to the photo frame and click to its... Oh, click to turn it slightly. Dude, it keeps on showing up. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off and then turn it back on. Now go to the left side sofa. Make it, move it over a little. Yeah. Here. Finally, touch the shelves. Oop. This is it. In a real prison, the escape room is now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Okay. What does this do? What if I use that instead? If I use that instead of the table, is that... Well, they said they're both tables. I mean... Actually, no, it just says what I want in the middle of the room.
And of course,
That's
now the
nice.
table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
The asset's not even there anymore.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded.
This
on
is
the
a nice
prison
one,
idea.
actually.
There's
This one looks
nearly
cozy.
a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going.
Oh, it's just a
And then he
level
hits on
from that one
something.
white place.
And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
What? The thing is, I kind of like the prison levels. They were very nice. I don't know why you think of them as bad. Which I mean, I guess since it's the only thing that he made, but it's his creations. Like, he should be able to do whatever he wants. The prisons were kind of a fun game. I liked them. I don't know if it was him like raveling through his work that like he couldn't come up with anything else or that something was wrong with him. I just feel like he really liked prison games. He was really good at making them too. Those were very nice. I'm on the phone. Okay. Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me from you. I mean, it's you. I'm you from after you escaped to prison. That was... yikes. You're me? So you were trapped in the prison too? Yep, I was in this escape
It's a
tutorial.
conversation. And so this is what Coda wants.
That's
is
where
to
I
be
am
able to
right now.
talk to someone, to
I'm so
share what's
glad
on
to
his
know
mind,
that I could get
and
out
to get some
eventually.
good advice from someone who knows.
What's it like to escape?
But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself.
It's kind of strange,
You know,
but in a way,
All
I
of
kind
these
of
games
I
so
kind of
far
miss being
are
in the prison.
Coda talking to himself.
Why was there anything about that? Why? Was there anything about it that you felt good about? Being here sucks. True, maybe I only like things once I don't have them anymore. I do that too, I guess. But is that just how I'm gonna be forever? I really like to change that. Maybe? Wait, if you're me, then you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? Ooh. Yes, I did get a call. That is how I escaped. Wow, what did they tell you? What did you have to do to get out? They asked me how it was like to be imprisoned. What? That freed you? How does that work? Listen, can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Okay, I feel afraid that nothing will ever change. Go on.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, I agree with that sentiment. August 2009.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Oh, in a little cave.
To me, this environment is
It's a
meant
little
to
door.
represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either
Snowman,
side
too.
and a dark transitional space between.
What if I go up here? Can I just skip this area entirely?
Just so you're aware, nothing will happen up here until you've been inside the house.
Okay. The answer is no. If I know this game enough, this will probably be really weird. Alright, let's go. Clean. Oh my goodness. I'm glad as heck that you showed up. I might be having to clean this entire house by myself. You're right, miserable that would have been. Everybody knows lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll
Don't worry
notice that
about
the
me. A
quality of the
place
art is a
this
step up
nice,
from
I'll be glad to stay I'll be
including
glad
this
to stay
new
here
and
all
improved
night.
chat system, which he started
Well
using
now,
from this point on.
just might be getting a
From
little
here
ahead
on
of
out, he
yourself there,
begins
no?
putting much more effort into the visual
Wait till I
polish
get
of his
done
work,
talking.
and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Why don't we start cleaning and then you decide whether you could do it all night? I'll finish up here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Okie? Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Could you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? Sure can do. Bed. What is that part for? While you're in there, why don't you straighten out the rug a bit? All the little details matter. Boom. How'd you end up doing this job? A friend dragged me along at a time when I was particularly desperate for cash. Turns out, I never felt so good doing something for money in my whole life. Never did like cleaning my own home. I might have got some demons I ain't ready to face yet. Oh, speaking of demons, someone's put the couch all in a mess. Would you come out and straighten these pillows here? Yeah, what can do? Oh dear, looks like somebody spilled a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop up as long as you're over there. I don't know about mopping it up, but I can definitely wipe it up. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. Okay. No. No, stupid. Sorry. Never mind. Hey, these dishes needs to be washed. Why did you come do that? Boom. Speed washer. Last I checked, the tub needs a cleaning. Wait, scrub it down the best you can. No need to be perfect. We're all just human. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Are there still books scattered on the floor of the bedroom? If so, could you put them back on the shelf? Perfect. Now then, how about you come here and clean these dishes off the table?
After
Again?
the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult
Are
or
all
traumatic
houses this
experience
easy to clean?
where you just need to let it sit and digest
Darling,
inside of you.
let me tell you something.
And eventually,
In your lifetime,
cohere
you're gonna
into
clean a lot of
something
houses.
meaningful.
And among all of those, a few of them will stick out as truly wonderful, beautiful experiences. And none of them will be the ones that were easy. Just something to think about
I know
while
that
you're
Coda really
smoothing
liked
out
this
the
game.
better.
Of all of his
You
work, actually, this was the only one that he
son of a
called
heck.
me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Maybe that's a good thing. I don't see why having a smile would be a bad thing. Scrub, scrub, scrub the dog. Again, though. Would you mind tidying up a bit? Earlier, when I said I had a really juicy thought, I was going to say it occurs to me that one's house isn't like one's soul. You gotta take care of it like it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt weird about saying that. I'm gonna reply to this. Well, yeah. You're right, that's pretty cheesy. Anyway, so, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Look, please clean up the books. Thanks. No problem. They're just books. Oh goodness, those pillows over on the couch are a real mess.
I'm
Would you
glad
go
he
over there and
made
straighten
this.
them up a bit?
I'm glad he found
Have
some
these folks
use.
coming up to a messy couch. Question. Do you enjoy
But,
this?
of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the
Bit
hill is
sad.
now open as well. Again, you can't
Hold on a second.
stay
Aren't there
in the
windows
dark
and a wall
space for
here?
too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's
Okay.
how you stay alive.
It's a bit weird. Nice. Everything's nice up here.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or
Can I go back
later you
out?
have to
No, I
pick
can't.
up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
September 2009. Items you love
This
at members
one
only
gets a bit
prices.
goofy.
Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. The workshop is going to teach you how to become perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look up at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, what do you think about this in your life? Why do you know who is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful, and tend to make you into that person? Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is, not how we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly? It's just so easy. So easy.
About
So
halfway
easy.
through the game, the perspective
Becoming
shifts.
perfect is effortless. Oh, okay. So, the key. This is the
And you
key.
play as
How do
the
I
teacher.
achieve it with no
Suddenly,
effort?
you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are.
Yeah,
Oh, and also you
I'm
can
gonna
move around the
assume
classroom
that
now.
these yellow ones are the perfect answers. The gray ones are the weird answers. Well, let me tell you right now. If it isn't effortless, then it's not the right answer. If you're torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? There is no truth. There is no path. Do what is easiest. Do what is simplest. Feel what is true. Nothing. No one.
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the
Perfection.
most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
Yeah, I don't know if that's perfection. I feel like that's more like you're a bit of a bot. Like you're a bit of a robot.
This one took a lot longer than all
You know
the
what I mean?
others for Coda to make. It was 4
I'm
months
pretty sure
between
you
this
know
and the
what I mean.
last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Well, maybe he just wanted to have a little break. Maybe he was burnt out. Maybe he was just thinking of new ideas. Chairs. Nice chairs. Stage. I've never seen a stage like this before. Oh! Alright. The performance is beginning. Places, please. In this scene, you will be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you will start out leaning against the wall. Good. Stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It is your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Hello? That's it? That is not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. I like you. No, no, no. That's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of this conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe that's what you need. A better feel of the setting. There was a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them represent the people nearby. Talk to her again. Boing, 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 boing. Yeah. See, can I just like knock myself around with these to different ones? No, we gotta go this way. This is so much fun and I don't know why. I'm trying to bounce off of that third one right there. Oh, let's get back. Let's get back to talking to this lady. What are some sacrifices you've had to make? You're messing it up all again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets too personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Lamppost. That seems mean. Listen, big man. Calm down. Where's the thing? It's my little lamppost. Oh, I have to go further. I don't want to get crushed by these. Okay, yes. Now this is working.
The game ends with this premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety,
that's perfect.
to
Wonderful.
fears
This
of
is
having
really
to
wonderful.
perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer.
Dude, that was a bit scary.
But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Yeah, that game was a bit sad. A Mobius trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed to click to begin the game. Before I begin the game, that last game, it was super like deep, kind of, because that game was just Coda talking about the best way to keep a conversation or to make one is to cage yourself or reserve yourself, just to not make contact at all, which I think is grossly wrong. All right, close my eyes before you begin this. See a lot of white. I have no clue where I'm going.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Who's that guy up there? Only way to stop is to speak to someone that is honest. I'm pressing no, that isn't truthful. I can't keep making these. Yes, that's it. That's the truth. I don't feel it anymore.
Like I said, I was getting concerned.
It's draining me.
First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Wow. Before we start moving in the next game, that seemed like Coda made a game just to like tell himself that making games is starting to drain him and that he hasn't been truthful with himself in any or a lot of the game making what do you call it? The game making steps. He keeps on trying to tell himself that everything is fun. Making games is fun, which it is, but to a certain extent you gotta take a break. You can't just constantly crank things out. Hello? Land. Tree. Where does island come from? Oh, island. Ball pathway. Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I've talked to anybody. It looks like truth from the truth thing. What's wrong? You look lost. Completely out of ideas. Oh no. What happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. You have to take me to it. You do that
if the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations,
if you can help
this one turns it up to 11.
Fine, we'll
now,
find the machine.
put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression,
It was just...
and yet still he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with him. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
was very
You
simple.
can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
I've solved it before. Okay, here we are. Talk. There's no machine here. Trust me, you'll see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say game development is simple and joyous, that you love it 100% of the time. Making games is effortless. Oh. Okay, loud. Ah, that feels wonderful. But it wasn't true. But it's just contradicting himself. Keep saying that creation is easy. It is easy. It never stops being easy. Yes, that's wonderful. Keep going.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to
Such a
himself, and I
simple
hated it.
solution.
I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about, and I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
It's just getting louder and louder each time you lie it.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the
It
time.
gets harder and harder.
I don't know how else to explain it.
There's no shame. No
I
fear.
wanted it to stop
guilt.
more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Is that lady?
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Yikes. 7 months. Loading. May 2011. That means we're getting close to the end. The machine. Alright. Past the guard and then the door. Ma'am, glad to see you've arrived safely. You've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. Begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be brutal. Very good. Just warned that some called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing you should know about this machine. It calls itself Coda. You
And of
stopped.
course, it's the machine.
You stopped feeding us. Those people out there. Can you imagine the pain you've put them through? You have to admit to the people that you allowed them to suffer. No? Nothing? Right then, we'll speak to them for you. Am I not in delightfully? My friends. It falls on me to deliver bad news. The machine will not apologize to us. But it is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. Let us pay it retribution. Follow me. We'll destroy everything that the machine has created. Hey guys, so I cut out right as I was destroying this area, so yeah, I just had to come back so I could destroy all this. Like my game and everything just froze, so I to go fix that. Alright, I'm not really sad about this right in this area either. Yeah. Coda, I'll make sure your work dies here. Isn't that what you're scared of? Having to live without
So
your
now the
precious
work is
creations?
becoming
Deal
self-destructive.
with
And I'll tell you,
yourself?
at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for it? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Oh, not this room. I loved this room, man. I gotta do this room dirty like that. Oh.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
I don't know. I mean, it was his personal creation, so I'd see why he didn't want to show it to other people. It's what he created and wanted. So I fully understand why he didn't want to show it to anybody else. Wow. Alright. Do I have to shoot him? Alright. I'm sorry, Coda.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
That's the problem. It makes you happy, but
So
maybe
anyway,
it won't make Coda
Coda
happy.
finishes
Everybody
this
reacts
game,
differently.
and then
towards
really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Alrighty. Let's go, Mr. Reedon. June 2011. The Tower. Also, I don't like how he said it made him feel beautifully, beautifully happy. Reminding me of that little area. This
And
has
this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's
Star
work.
Wars period.
Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
I meant a very cool.
This room actually has a maze in it.
Okay.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Please, thank you. Jump off. Oh, you can. Seem to have a lot of fun putting barriers on things. Why can't you put a barrier on this? So I don't fall off to my death.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
So
the only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
okay, I was dead wrong the first try. Take me to the edge. You can't jump. Okay. Stairs. Jump to the hole. Okay. And the door's closed. Okay.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem.
Not all problems.
But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game?
I would say.
I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
3 dots.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left. And it felt somehow like I had failed.
Bad to try to be someone you weren't.
Where did I screw up? I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Dear Davey, thank you for your interest in my games. I need to ask you not to speak to me anymore. I wonder at
I don't
times
think I ever
think
told you
I'm
this,
making these games for
but when I
you.
took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
You so
And
infected my
the
personal
people who
space.
played them,
I'll read after you.
they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
Okay, I can read again. You so infect my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plan solutions in my work somewhere in between games. If there is an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Would you stop changing the game? Stop adding lab posts? He's been changing the games and adding lampposts? What? Would you simply
And
leave
then you
them what
stopped.
they are?
And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all.
When I'm around you, I
Nothing.
feel physically
Less
numb.
than nothing.
You desperately need something I
What
cannot
does
give.
that mean?
I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed, which is just part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet, which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you have to make peace, and that you make peace with this thing that you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't
And
like
you
myself.
finally see what I'm talking about. Don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Epilogue. Dude, this is gonna be fun. Thought we were just gonna have fun times watching this guy's collection of games. It just turned sad.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution.
So without a doubt,
Solution.
this game is beautiful. Transitions to like different areas. It's just really good.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate.
I mean, I
Wouldn't
thought
have told
that
so
he
many
just, like,
people that he was
prison
depressed.
games. Never really
Maybe he just
implemented
likes
something
making
to make it
prisons.
seem like he was desperate, that he was in need of help. Most of those were just fun little games, little levels that he made of prisons. None of them really
Even now, the
show
disease is telling me to stop.
desperate.
Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Needing somebody to free him. Oh. Oh. Cave? Front of the house, because these look like
If
structure
I knew
beams.
that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
That's not good. Seeking validation in everything is not very good for yourself. Cavern with little bubbles of speech text.
What now?
Oh man, I miss that.
I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna... Okay.
This is what I love about Coda's games, though. Just the abstractness, just the way he builds things. Makes you feel so small. It's just small world. It must have taken, like, at least hours for him to make this whole level with all his transitions. Later. Up. There you go. I'm very small. Okay. So peaceful though. It's like a calming. It's like a calm after like a storm, as people say. It's like the peacefulness after a storm has hit. It's already. It's the beam. It's the beam from the beginning of the game. I can only tell because the top part. Everything else is just bright white light. I say, beginning of the end. Oh. Dude. What? Dude. So beautiful, man.
Turn back.
For R.
Turn back from this cave. You said,
It's
let
probably not
me
impossible to
prove that
follow the visual.
I'm brave. Let me keep going. But the cave goes for
Turn back, written by Helen Ayers.
and
From
miles and
Brian.
miles. And you're so
Choose
tired.
choose.
But I know that you're strong.
What? I actually clicked on the
Turn
game.
back. Turn back.
Wow. That. Man, that was a crazy adventure. Everybody, that's the end of the video. So, see everybody later, and have a good day or night, depending when you're at. All right, peace.